build, we develop, we invest in Web3 projects. We're based here in Dubai, offices in Burj Khalifa, not bragging at all. But today I'm here to speak about something that's very dear to my heart because I've been in the crypto space since 2013. And could you please, any of you, raise your hands who have bought their first coin before the year of 2017? Okay, not a lot of people. Yeah, because, okay, so, and before 2020? Okay, the majority. So, crypto comes in cycles. It's not a secret. And the first cycle, obviously, was focused on Bitcoin, and a lot of people made tremendous amounts of money, at least on paper, because not a lot of them knew how to manage their keys. But the majority of people were onboarded to the crypto space via ICOs. And then every year after ICOs, there was a certain trend, a certain wave that followed. So 2017, 2018, we had ICOs. 2018 summer, people were expecting STOs, but that flopped, and they were into a certain hybrid of IDOs and IEOs. And then 2019, 2020, it was quite evident that the largest wave of crypto was DeFi. Up to a point that it was so hot, people called it the DeFi summer. And the last year it was interesting. It was the battle between two narratives. The ETH killers, quote unquote, Ethereum hasn't been killed yet, and obviously NFTs. So naturally there is a question, what is next? And at DIG, everything we're building, we're thinking about what do consumers want? Where does the crypto space go? And for us, it was quite evident that it is going to be blockchain gaming. So today I want to talk about, is blockchain gaming the next big crypto trend in 2022? And we believe it is. The first reason is because the concept has already been proven. So every year with these mini bubbles, whatever you want to call it, there was a front runner. So for ICOs, we had Ethereum. For DeFi, we had Maker, which was followed by Aave and other protocols. For NFTs, ETH killers, obviously Solana, Cardano, Terra, and for NFTs, it was CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht. So for gaming, it's quite obvious this is not a revolutionary idea. It is Axie Infinity. So with Axie Infinity, what we've seen at the beginning of 2021, from 30,000 daily active users, it went up in less than 365 days to 3 million daily active users. With the emergence in the Southeast Asia, 50% people claim that in the Philippines, having $4.5 billion in revenue, 1.3 managing in community treasury, it was amazing to see that grow. So the concept is definitely proven. But the reason why we think it is going to grow and it's going to be sustainable is because of the users. Because I was thinking, what industry, which domain has so much potential as gaming? Because gaming, people are playing games and there are billions of gamers around the world. So the only thing that kind of popped into my head where blockchain can be introduced was finance. But with finance, if I would ask my grandmother to create a MetaMask wallet, if I would ask her to be a part of DeFi, it would be very different. And with gamers, it is much different. It is much different because people are used to the hardware, they're used to the software interfaces, and they already know how to interact with that. And of course, right now, I'm going to speak about that a little bit later, the users are much more educated. And then obviously the community. You have people who are interested not only in games, but they're also interested in the economic incentives. Even to that point where we see certain games and they're not as visually appealing. They're not as beautiful as, let's say, the centralized games. But there is economic incentive. And people are created and bonded, these communities are bonded with that. And that's what we also have in the game that we're building that I'm going to talk about in just a few minutes. Then, this is quite an interesting concept where we see that the latest trends have been joined together, gaming and NFT and metaverse. That's what we're thinking at DIG when we're building games, is to have all of those three components, all the features that you would see in gaming, the features that you would see in NFTs, the features that you would see in metaverse, combined into one game. So this is going to be very attractive for the gamers. This is going to be sustainable for people because people create these wallets, people interact with these wallets, and there's a whole cycle of the ecosystem. Also, what's interesting about this trend is that it's the field of disruption opportunities. At Decentralized Investment Group, we are looking at these opportunities where there would be blockchain would be needed. Blockchain would be essential. Because every time somebody pitches us an idea, we ask that if this idea could be done without blockchain. And a lot of times founders cannot answer this question. And we only want to work with people who can answer this question where blockchain really has a fundamental value. The fundamental value in gaming is that it cuts off the middleman. And blockchain is all about that. It's all about cutting out the middleman. So we all know the story, the battle between Epic Games and Apple. That's still kind of ongoing. There wasn't really a clear winner. But the 30% that Apple is taking is predatory. So that's why we believe that not only for indie games, but also for the players, because all of that value trickles down and is being taken from the players, is being taken from the studios. This is where blockchain can really come in. This is where it really solves a difficult problem. But talking about these competitors, talking about the big players, we believe that this time, giants won't sleep. So we see a little bit of friction between gaming companies and the users, right? Gaming companies like Ubisoft are looking at GameFi, they're looking at NFTs, they're very interested, and why wouldn't they be? Because they are creative people. By definition, people who are in the gaming industry, they're more creative than, let's say, people who are in finance. So that's why they're more open to NFTs, they're more open to GameFi ideas. But the community itself, the old school community, they still have to go through that education phase. And listen, blockchain gaming is still at a very early stage. So we believe that that's going to change, and there are going to be acquisitions in this field. And by the way we're building our games, we're always looking at the best quality possible, so it would be attractive to these players. So bread and games, who has heard about this saying from ancient Rome? People always talked about bread and games. And that's what's really funny, right? GameFi, play to earn, has both. It has the bread, the economic incentives, and it has the games. Up to the point where people are quitting their day jobs to play these games, to earn, to have community, to have fun, and that has been a crazy emergence in Southeast Asia. And that's one of the reasons why we acquired the developer studio called Wild Thunder, which is based in Vietnam. So not only the communities being built and people are interacting, but the whole landscape, the whole face, the character, the persona of the gamer changes. There's always been this stigma that games are best case scenario, a form of entertainment. Worst case scenario, a waste of time. And then we've seen the emergence of YouTubers who are making money out of that, but that's basically, kind of a old school business, legacy business, where people just monetizing views, monetizing attention. But with this new model of NFTs, with GameFi, we're seeing a much different thing where, a husband can be playing a game and his wife is not going to complain about it because he's making money. So we definitely like this concept. However, there are some challenges. What are the challenges of this trend to really take off this year? That's what we're analyzing at Decentralized Investment. First of all, it's the UI UX. Let's be honest. Some of the GameFi games are not being played because they're visually appealing. They're not being played because there's a very compelling storyline. They are being played because there is an economic, there is a financial incentive. And in VIG, the games that we're building, we're looking at AAA games, we're looking at visually appealing eye candies. And in order for some people to play these games, the mobile platform is not available. Sometimes you have to create one wallet, sometimes you have to create two wallets. But technology is a two-way street. And that is definitely going to change with the developments and the talent that's being attracted. Look at the booths, and look at the speakers, look at the people who attended this conference. There is intellectual capital being brought in, and that always is the number one indicator about solving problems in crypto space. Then, of course, it's the blockchain. There is the scalability problem of blockchains. Of course, the UI UX that I just talked about. But that's why we believe that every game that really gets the scale, a really big scale, that we intend to have in our game, there needs to be a sidechain being built, or to be blockchain agnostic, in order to be able to create and develop the tech infrastructure in a way that we can change it anytime you want. And then regulation. This is very interesting. This is not necessarily a challenge. I would say this is a pro in the GameFi space, because when we're thinking about DeFi, when we're thinking about ICOs, there is a massive regulation involved. And with GameFi, it's kind of being embraced by some countries, and it's not being as regulated. And as you know, regulation always stagnates innovation. So that's why we believe that it's not necessarily a challenge. This is going to be a catalyst for the growth of blockchain gaming. So that's why I want to present you the Realms of Ethereum, the game that we're most proud of in our portfolio. It's being developed right now. If you're interested in being involved and being a part of gaming revolution, definitely take notice at our trailer. studio that has 70 people. We have already over 70,000 people in our community. We raised over $5 billion. And we believe that we're on track of being oversubscribed, but if you're still interested to be a part of this game, definitely come talk to me, come talk to us at our booth at the exhibition center. And this is something that we're really proud of because, as mentioned, we're not only looking at the GameFi components, play-to-earn components of NFTs and earning money from the game, but also for that to be a pleasant experience so people wouldn't really see the change, see the difference between this game and any other game built by a large studio. So I want to show some of the features that we have in our game. We're going to have an avatar that will not be required to have to buy any certain NFTs, but to upgrade it both visually and practically, productively. You can buy. You can buy NFTs in the marketplace, and as you can see, the graphics are top notch. You'll be able to create your own weapons. For example, our hero creating a sword, which then later you will be able, after acquired, to sell it in the marketplace. So it's feature-rich, it's graphically beautiful. We're working on the best possible experience and to incorporate blockchain into this game. And of course, we're thinking blockchain first, but then again, the smoothness of the game, visual appeal is the most important thing first. So, the game that we're building, Realms of Eternity, we're building under the umbrella of Decentralized Investment Group. And with Decentralized Investment Group, we believe that it is very important. It is extremely important to have these games, and this trend is going to be just colossal to the growth of the crypto ecosystem because it's going to onboard people that have never interacted with crypto before. For example, with Axie Infinity, 30% of people who are playing Axie Infinity have never interacted with blockchain before. And with Realms of Eternity, we're going to increase that number because of the functionality that I just talked about. And in DIG, we're not only building games, we're focused on DeFi, we're focused on the metaverse. We have a DeFi product called Stabcoin, an NFT platform called XYZZY, an NFT 1244, Black Magic Network, and much, much more. So if you're interested to become a part of not only the gaming revolution, but also Web3 revolution, come talk to us. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're an investor, if you're a developer, a marketeer, I'm sure you're going to find common business. And again, going back to the beginning, what I talked about, not the BitConnect joke, but what I talked about, there's a lot of people here. I wish that the people that are here are going to stay even if there's going to be a bear market, or it's going to be a bull market, but your conviction in the talent and the growth of Web3 blockchain is going to be at all-time highs, no matter the prices. Thank you very much.
Justin Pikelis. Any questions for Justin, ladies? Please raise